Ah, the holidays. A time for giving, a time for getting, and a time for going and going.
And going, and going, and going, and going.
When you need a break, we're here, helping you make sense of all the good and the going of the holidays. Happy holidays from all of us at ubnradio.com. Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay on ubnradio.com.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show out of the Sunset Gower Studios every Tuesday at naturally high noon. This is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, a show about hope and happiness, so there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. No CNN, no constantly negative news. No, if it bleeds, it does not lead here. We are focused, I am focused on being your cheerleader for happiness 88% of the time and splattering you with hope and happiness. So we want you to tune into your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And it is the holiday season of joy, one of my favorite parts of the year. And so I thought it would be really fun to have a friend of mine come in, and we're going to sing you out of your holiday blues. And we're going to do some duets and my favorite songs. And he is Charles Holt. He is a successful Broadway actor in Jesus Christ Superstar, Lion King, and on TV. You may recognize him from Law & Order. He was the first African-American to play the role of Rocky in the European tour of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He's also TEDx talked, performed at the John F. Kennedy Center, and has his own production and company now. Charles' landmark book, The Voice That Matters, is about his journey in finding his own unique voice and life purpose. He has a second book out. He'll be talking about that too. Please welcome to my studio, Mr. Charles Holt.
What a welcome.
I was going to tell you, though, I was going to say all that, and I thought, no, I'm just going to surprise him on the air.
Surprise, surprise.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Oh, good.
Yes, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your programming and what you're sharing with the world, Dr. Marissa.
Thank you, Charles. And we'll just get right started because we want to wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light.
From now on, our troubles will be out of sight.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay.
From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, happy golden days of yore.
Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow.
Hang a shining star upon the highest bough.
So have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas
now.
Yay! That was so awesome.
Delightful. Just like you,
Delightful.
Dr. Marissa.
Oh, I love you too. This is really, really fun. For those of you who didn't know, or actually some of you have already messaged in, is that you singing on the outro of your shows? And yes, it is. A fact that some people don't know is that I used to be a lounge lizard. And one of
know
my
that.
listeners said, what's a lounge lizard? And you know what that is, right?
Yes,
You croon to people who are basically drunk. And you sing at a piano bar. And I did that to put myself through grad school. And I actually had a fork in the road where I could have gone into music or I could have gotten my PhD. And my father flew from Canada and said, "Darling, you're good, but you're not that good. And there's people who are dying to do this and you're not one of them. And you can always do it later. So get your PhD." And so that's what I did. And now I still get to sing. I came out of retirement to actually sing with the Agape International Spiritual Choir.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and we're singing Christmas Eve. So please come. And if you were there last Sunday, Charles Holt was the fabulous singer on stage on Ricky Byers-Beckwith's fabulous stage, my choir boss. And hi, Ricky. And she, wrote a song that Charles sang and was just amazing. And I went, I think I want Charles to sing with me on the air. And that's how that came about.
What an honor.
Yeah. So I have a friend who has not a answering machine. She has a questioning machine.
Okay.
And when you call her, it says, "Who are you and what do you want?" So who are you and what do you want?
Those are two really great questions.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with the first one.
Yes.
Who am I? It took me a while to get there and get an understanding of who I really am. All of the doings and accolades and all those things. And I tried to make myself Mr. Lion King for a while and Mr. IBM and the high school All-American football player. It didn't work. But they got me to the place to understand that the reason why I came to the planet really was to be an ambassador of freedom, to be a healing vessel. And the way that I show up as a healing vessel is through music, through my writings, through my books, through my workshops, through my retreats, and just everyday conversation with people. I understand that we are energetic beings and that what we say and what we do, and I'll just put it in the first, what I say and what I do, it permeates.
Yes.
Because it affects me, and I know that it affects other people. So I'm here to be an inspiration in demonstration, but to also allow people to feel what they already have, which is that healing virtue that's already inside of them, that they are free, that we are all free, and we're free to do whatever it is that we came down here to demonstrate and reveal, which means, hey, I want to be a beneficial presence on the planet,
That's
just
it.
like your introduction says.
Yes, absolutely. And you are.
Yes.
And you are. Actually, your talk voice is good for radio. I didn't realize that before. I knew your singing voice, but honey, you could do your own show. That might be something we have to talk to Tony about.
I'm going to answer that second one.
Sure.
What do I want?
Yes.
If I could just be a genie for a minute, I would go, let there be peace right now.
Yeah.
And I know that I have to become peace
Yeah.
before I can, become anything else or ask of anything else. So what do I want?
Peace.
In the other things, I want us to be here. I want us to get to the consciousness of understanding we want to be here long enough so that all of our gifts and talents are shared with everybody else.
Yeah.
And once it's time to move on or whatever,
Yeah.
see ya. But we've given all that we came down here to give and share.
Yes. And that is, that's what I try to encourage on this show is that, if you hate your job, if you really hate what you do and you live for your weekends, you're missing out 5 out of 7 days. And so how do we get to that place where we do discover, a lot of people grew up thinking they wanted to be, a pro athlete or a
Yes.
singer or a rock star or whatever it is. And I had a great mentor one time who said, what was behind that? So let's say it doesn't materialize that way, but what is the gift that's behind that? What are you good at that only you're good at? And to actually explore and hone that instead of accepting your lot, or you go to school in something you don't know when you're a kid what you want to be or what you want to do. You went and worked at IBM and you realize that it's not for you. But to go, I'm going to leave a really good paying job to follow my heart, that's a huge, not a lot of people do that. So
Yes.
so good for you for having the courage to do that. And also, I so want all 7.3 billion of us on the planet not to do what we're supposed to do or to make the money that we're supposed to make, to buy the things that we're supposed to have, but are we really enjoying
Yes.
who we are and what we have to bring to the planet? It's not just about that codependent, I have to help people. Like I'm here to just give, and then
Yes.
you get, you're lost. But I know when you sing, you're in the zone. Like, it ain't you and it is you and it's coming through you. And I
Yes.
know I do that when I'm on the show or when I'm singing or performing. And there's some people who, design architecture or business plans, they're in the zone too. So find what it is.
Yes.
How did you find what it was that you loved? One second. For those of you who just tuned in, you are listening to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at noon on UBN Radio, Thursdays at 7 and Saturdays at 11 on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5. I forgot to say that at the beginning. And if you're wondering who I am singing with today and who is giving us a wonderful pep talk, it's Charles Holt.
Thank you. It took me a while to get it, Dr. Marissa, because I grew up in a structure, not just a family, but a structure of family. And this is the way that family operates. And these are how the children of these families operate. And so you go from here to here to here, and you never stray from the nucleus. You stay close to home.
Right.
And I went to Atlanta. I was born and raised in Nashville, graduated college in Memphis, and then worked for IBM, and then decided I wanted to leave and go to another company in Atlanta. And a year later, they fired me, which was way from what I had been taught. Never get fired. You stay there for 25, 35 years. And as a matter of fact, son, you did the wrong thing by leaving IBM. You should have stayed there, but I didn't. So this next one, you get another shot. Well, they fired me. And I had been singing in jazz clubs, open mic, just to wash the week off. And one of my buddies, he's now a mentor of mine. He came up to me and he said, "Do you know when you sing, the room changes?" And I said, "No." I said, "The only time that I've experienced that was with my grandmother, who used to teach me hymns and spirituals as a little boy. And I used to witness what would happen to Granny. And everything would change in the room." He said, "Well, it does with you too." And he invited me to start auditioning, which I had I knew nothing about, because football and artistic endeavors did not mix.
Right. Of course.
So I said, okay, I'll do it. Well, fast forward, I got a big break in Atlanta, and then heard a voice that said, "It's time for you to move. Move to New York." And moved to New York, and then Jesus Christ Superstar, Smokey Joe's Cafe, Lion King, and so forth and so on, television and film. And what I found, Dr. Marissa, is that there was a part of me that was waiting to grow up in New York, to step out and say, I really want to know who I am. And it took all of those doings for me to finally land in that field of possibility of understanding the truth of who I am. And I moved, I left New York, I left Lion King, and I moved to Los Angeles. And when I moved here, I stopped going to church altogether because it no longer served me.
Right.
The traditional way of learning who this God, who this divine presence is. I wanted to know more. And I wanted to know it for myself, not my mother's or my grandmother's or my father's God. I wanted to know God for me.
Right.
And I landed in Agape.
Uh-huh.
And the first Sunday, Reverend Michael Beckwith said, if you're conscious and aware or not, that right where you sit or stand is exactly where you're supposed to be. I'm here to tell you that you're in your perfect place. Ricky helped them feel it. And she hit a chord on the piano, and it took me all the way back to that sooty linoleum floor that my grandmother used to pretend where she used to pretend like she was playing these hymns. She used to tap her bony knees and sing these hymns and spirituals. And something inside of me said, "You're home." And that's when my life began to change. And over time, it's been wonderful because I have allowed myself to release the need to be important, the need to be seen, the need to be heard, and I've surrendered to something that is much greater. And I've leaped over so many things that I can look back and say, wow, that was fun, but it's not who I am now.
Fab. Fab. That's great. Could I take a little break and actually sing a song, one of my favorite songs, holiday songs, and I'll serenade you?
Yes.
How's that?
You go ahead and do
Because
that.
you usually have to do it the other way around. So today you get serenaded. I sang this actually last year, and I had so many people love this song, and it's my favorite when I sang with Stacy. So I thought I would sing it again. It's called My Grown-Up Christmas List that highlights everything you just said so beautifully. Do you remember me? I sat upon your knee. I wrote to you with childhood fantasies. Well, I'm a grown-up now. Will you still help somehow? I'm not a child, but my heart still will believe. So here's my lifelong wish, my grown-up Christmas list. Not for myself, but for a world in need. No more lives torn apart, that wars would never start, that time would heal our hearts, and every man would have a friend, and right would always win, and love would never end. This is my grown-up Christmas list. This is for my two beautiful daughters, Chloe May and Sarah Way. As children, we believed the grandest sight to see was something lovely wrapped beneath the tree. Well, heaven surely knows that packages and bows won't heal a hurting human need. No more lives torn apart, that love would never end, and time would heal our hearts. And everyone would have a friend, and right would never end, and time would heal our Oh, this is my grown-up Christmas list. Ooh. What is this illusion called? The innocence of youth. Will the only and our blind belief? Can we ever find the truth? No more lives torn apart, that wars would never start, that time would heal our hearts. Oh, everyone would have a friend, that right would always win, and time would never end. Oh, this is my grown-up Christmas list. This is my only lifelong wish. This is my grown-up Christmas wish. That is really, 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 really my wish.
I can tell. Yeah, I can feel that.
Wow, I didn't think I was getting emotional on that one. Wouldn't it be awesome? Like all this stuff that's going on in the world, and people would not be afraid, and people would know who they are and whose they are. And they would just celebrate this life, this beautiful, beautiful thing called life. That is my wish. There's a song like that. And Charles, we get to do one of my most absolute favorite songs of all time. And I specifically asked Charles because his voice is just amazing.
Thank you.
And this is dedicated. Actually, let's dedicate this to both of our favorite teacher, Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, who you've seen on this show 3 times, who actually changed my life as well as yours. And this is for you, big brother. This is the prayer. Pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
I pray we'll find your light.
I pray you'll find our light
And hold it in our hearts.
and hold it in our hearts.
When stars go out each night.
When stars go out each night.
Remind us where you are.
Remind us where you are.
Let this be our prayer.
Let this be our
When
prayer.
shadows fill our day.
When shadows fill our day.
Lead us to a place.
Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be safe.
A world where pain and sorrow will be ended, and every heart that's broken will be mended, and we'll remember we are God's children, reaching out to touch you, reaching to the sky. Ask that life be kind.
Ask that life be kind.
And watch us from above.
And watch us from above.
We hope each soul will find.
We hope each soul will find.
Another soul to love.
Another soul to love.
Let this be our prayer.
Let this be our prayer.
Just like every child.
Just like every child. Lead us to
find
a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith where we'll be safe. Lead us to a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be
Yeah. Beautiful.
Isn't that the most gorgeous song? That is like my favorite song in the whole wide world. Ah, so
I need to take a breath.
no, that was like a powerful
Lead us to a place.
place. Yeah,
Guide us
with your grace.
Give us faith so that we'll be saved.
You know, let's come back after break and talk about faith, because it is, you know, I think that one of the reasons why we are struggling, some of us are struggling during the holidays, and some of us refuse faith, maybe. And we're going to have a big show in February, actually. I don't know if I told you, to mark the season for nonviolence. I'm having a panel here live on the air.
Oh, wow.
With our favorite teacher, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, Bishop Carlton,
Pearson.
and someone who doesn't usually give interviews unless you're Oprah. And it had nothing to do with people calling me Asian Oprah. But Neil Donald Walsh.
Oh, wow.
Is coming, the bestseller of Conversation with God. So why don't we come back from break and actually talk about the G word and talk about faith and talk about, I know because it made a difference to you, and you grew up, I grew up fundamental Baptist and you grew up Pentecostal. And I think that, you know, sharing with listeners and sharing with anyone who just stumbled on this show for the first time, that it's never too late to connect with a power that really does want the very best for you.
Yes.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go to break. And this is when I thank the sponsors who made this show possible. And the first one's actually something I'm super, super duper happy, proud of. My app on the 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa just came out just in time for the holidays. And this is a little commercial that my daughter, my teenage daughter, Sarah, put together with my great niece, my little Anna Grace. You'll see her there. So I'll be back in 2. Peace in and peace out.
No way! I'm so cool. I'm so hot. I'm so hungry. I'm so full.
Did that complaining sound familiar to you? Hi, I'm Dr. Marissa, your cheerleader for hope and happiness 88% of the time. And they also call me the Asian Oprah. Well, I have a perfect app for you if you want to lose negative weight and stop complaining. Yes, the 21-day Fast from Complaining with Dr. Marissa app is now available. Every day you'll get a balanced tip that keeps you from complaining, as well as some sound effects. If you do complain and you press a button, it will give you a sound to keep you from complaining. And if you make it the entire day without complaining, you'll get a nice warm reward. And there's a YouTube link also to help you not complain. And then at the end of the 21 days, because it takes 21 days to create a good habit, you'll get an overall score as well as a way to post your triumph with your friends and family on Facebook. So don't complain, have fun, and remember it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
Peace in, peace out.
If you think you don't have the money to start your own business, then I have fantastic news. Now you can own a business that has proven to be a phenomenal success all around the country with very little upfront investment. We're talking the Selfie Station. Selfie Station is a portable touchscreen photo booth that people and businesses book for weddings, corporate functions, trade shows, proms, promotional events, parties, and more. Selfie Station captures lifelong memories that can be emailed, texted, printed, personalized, and even uploaded to social media. You won't believe how much people will pay you to make your business the life of their party. It's the easiest income you'll ever earn and pays for itself in no time at all. You can start your own business right now. Let Selfie Station be the picture taker, icebreaker, and your moneymaker. Now, as a special introductory offer, you get $500 off the professional package. That's right, $500 off. SelfieStationPodcast.com. Type in the name of my show, Dr. Marissa, so I can get credit, please. Thank you. SelfieStationPodcast.com. That's SelfieStationPodcast.com. And get ready to make money today. All right. And we are back. I think I jumped in on that one. My bad. Thank you, Kurt. Kurt's filling in for Jarvis, who's home for the holidays. And he's running my boards for the first time. So we're learning each other here.
Trying to get that synergy going.
Yeah, we're doing a great job. Thank you, Kurt. And also thank you to Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Beth and Tanner. I said I would send you a peace shout in and out. And to the lovely man that I accidentally rear-ended on the freeway last week on the way to our rehearsal. And then as well to the fabulous people at Mercury Insurance who got me on my way. I just wanted to say it was the easiest accident that I've ever been in. And I'm really sorry. I'm not going to say his name out loud, but he was so cool. I was like really upset at myself, and he's like, accidents happen and no one was hurt, so thank you. And but be careful. And I was not texting or on the phone, so it was just traffic stopped really suddenly, and I did, and then the second time I didn't. So I just want to say I have to practice what I preach and not beat myself up.
That's fine.
And leave it now. And with that, thank you. All right, back to Charles Holt, author, speaker, singer extraordinaire. And tell me about, I said we'd come back and talk about that experience. Mm-hmm. And I know you have another book coming out as well. weave that in for me.
Well, it's already out.
Okay.
It's the second book is called Between Me and Dad. And it has a companion journal with it called The 7 Powers to Healing and Freedom, which are, staples in me being here on the planet. So the Between Me and Dad is another, peek into my life, but particularly my relationship with my father, which was tumultuous.
Yeah.
Growing up, and my father and I we grew up in very different worlds in the South, but very different worlds under very different circumstances and conditions. And by the time I came along, I think my father had weathered so many storms, social storms, cultural storms, the storms of, am I enough? Am I enough? And how do I move on from here? And so my brother's almost 15 years older than me, and my sister's 11 years older than me. So the span of time without having someone young. And I was fully self-expressed when I came here and went against all of the staunch
guidelines.
Don't talk to grown people.
Right.
Children are seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
And don't touch too many people. You're a little boy. Don't go around hugging people, telling people that you love them. You're a little boy. Little boys don't turn flips. And I did all of that stuff because that's what made me happy.
Right.
And that's who I was. Freedom is, at the staple of who I am.
Yeah.
So at the core of who I am. And so it turned out that at the age of 3, 4, I'd say up to 6 years old, I wanted to be just like my daddy. I wanted to walk like him, talk like him. He used to have his way of spreading his arms with his elbows on the table as he ate, and I used to try and mimic and emulate that. And I think at the age of 7, something clicked, and I said, wow, my daddy doesn't like me. He won't play ball with me. He won't let me hug him. He never says he loves me. And he never says that I'm good at anything. So that's when the shift started for me, and I immediately came up with something's wrong with me. Started living my life to appease the wishes of everybody else. My grandmother, who was a staunch Baptist, you said Baptist, and we did grow up in the Baptist church, and then I later went into the Apostolic Pentecostal church, but wanting people to like me. Please like me. I'll do anything. I'll even make bad grades so you'll like me. And my mother
was opposite. I make good grades so you'll like me. That's in the Chinese home. But go ahead.
But everything was, I became an overachiever.
Yeah.
The great athlete, football scholarships, and the straight A student, National Honor Society, and all of these, these advanced groups, and, look at me, and I'm okay. And all of that, Dr. Marissa, all those years I spent with that, the one thing that I wanted to hear was something from my father that sounded like, ooh, this is my boy. I'm proud of you, son. But it never happened.
Right.
And so I grew up hiding all of the hurt, pain, shame, disappointment, blame under the carpet of achievement.
Boy, this sounds awfully familiar.
And then when things started closing, I didn't get drafted. I didn't get picked up as a free agent, as a football player. When IBM went down the drain, because I knew that whole corporate structure was not, that I didn't fit in it.
Right.
And I tried to, and I got fired. And I started performing, which I went back to what my grandmother had already initiated in me, singing and dancing and enjoying. Yes. And I found that was the world that was calling me. It always had been, even as I say so many times, as I was running down the football field to score that touchdown, at my heels and my elbows was that voice saying, hey, come back. I want you to dance and spin and tumble and run. And so I moved to New York, and in Jesus Christ Superstar, I never will forget it, I got cast a month after I moved to New York, and I said, wow, I'm away from home. I'm away from him. I'm far, far away from him, and I couldn't be happier. Something happened on tour where we were driving in a sleeper bus from Casper, Wyoming to Long Beach to do shows because we were on a sleeper bus, one-nighters, and I had gotten up from rest and was talking to the bus driver, and lo and behold, this apparition of my father's face appeared. And I went into this shock, and I said, "Why are you following me? I thought I left you in Nashville. Go away." And it followed me the entire 6 months of that tour back to my apartment in Harlem. And I called him and I said, "Daddy, I forgive you." And I was reluctant. I was resistant at first because those thoughts of, this is what he did to me, it's what he said to me, came up. I said, don't let him off the hook.
Yeah.
But there was something bigger inside of me that said, let him go. Let him go. And then I said the magic words, Dr. Marissa. I said, "Daddy, I love you. I always have and I always will." And that was the key to allow both of us to walk out of the jail, because I had imprisoned him, but I had really incarcerated myself.
Yeah.
And once that happened, that was 1996. And in 2009, I went home, and by this time my father, he had end-stage renal disease. So he was on dialysis 3 days a week. And I remember walking into my parents' home, and my father was at the table getting ready to, my mother was getting ready to get him some breakfast. And he looked up and he said, "Oh, there's my baby boy. Daddy loves you."
Oh, wow.
Changed my life forever. Now, that's not to say that I wasn't angry in that moment, because there was a part of me that said, where was that when I was 4, 5? I was tugging you. Please play ball with me. Please tell me that you love me. Please tell me that I'm okay.
Right.
And then there was that other part of me that said, remember 1996 when you made that covenant and you said, I declare I love you, and I always have and I always will, and I release you. Well, he's ready now. Are you? And I said, I'm ready too. I'm ready too. And it was a lot of fear, because I felt like I didn't know him, and I felt like he didn't know who I was. And so by the time my father transitioned in February 2013, but from 2009 to 2013, we had the best conversations. And my assignment was to let him talk. Listen. Let him talk. And if you love him, he'll tell you its secrets. Like Dr. George Washington Carver said, if you love something with all your heart, it shall reveal its secrets. And I loved my daddy. And he would tell me things, and I said, oh, okay, I have to let go of what I held him to for so many years and look at the man, the person, the human, the being, the spiritual being. And yes, he came down here to teach me something. And let's uncover the rock together. So, part of my work now is I'm a spokesperson for the Boys and Girls Club. And so I go in and talk to those youth. And sometimes I don't get to share this story with them, but I do get to share the demonstration of freedom and of allowing yourself to let go.
This is a perfect holiday message. Thank you very much, Reverend Charles Holt. Because, at first I was like, well, I promised we were going to talk about the G word. But this is about the G word. It is about the love that is within you. And so many people have a problem with their parents or with someone in their past who did them wrong.
Yes.
And I've heard over and over, if there was a God, why would God let that happen? I was a child. I didn't do anything to anyone. Why was I punished? Why was I beaten? Why was I sexually molested? Why was I emotionally abused? Why was I, if there was a God, why didn't God rescue me from this situation?
Yes.
And so a lot of people don't want to believe, and they hold on to that as the reasoning. Now, what I learned from our teacher was that I actually came here to learn to be what I wanted to be. So I wanted to be a powerful person. Somewhere, when I came into this life, I knew I wanted to be powerful. And what I learned growing up, similar, I always just wanted approval from my mom. That's all I ever wanted. I just wanted her to say, that was a good job, or you did this. And it's like the identical story to yours. And And I had every reason to be angry with her because she did things to me as a child that no child should ever have done. And I held on to that and made it the reason why I was never going to be happy. Okay, I would achieve as well, but every time I would achieve, I'd have a voice that would say, "Yeah, but it's not that big of a deal," or people really don't know who you are, and once they do find out, they're not going to be so impressed, or anybody could have done that, or blah 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 blah, and that bang bang bang. And so it wasn't until I got to Agape that I learned that he said, Reverend Michael said, if that situation never changed, if that situation was exactly the way it was supposed to be, and you grew up in that home under that mom, exactly as it was there anything that developed in you as a direct result of that situation? And I went, yeah, but okay. I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm resilient, I'm tenacious, I'm achievement oriented, I'm all those things. But couldn't that have happened without me being hurt? Mm-hmm. And so I sat with that. I sat with that. And I'm asking all the listeners who really are setting themselves apart and reliving a painful past, which is one of the reasons why depression or loneliness hit during the holidays, is because you relive all of those childhood hurts. Is I want you to sit with that and realize that you're not a child now. You don't have to subject yourself to that pain anymore. But can you see yourself as a product, one of whatever, we grow in pain, right? We expand and unfold, more so through pain than through pleasure, right? Deeper expansion. What did develop in you as a result of the pain in the childhood? What was it? And even, I was talking to Tony about this before the show, even kids who had perfect childhoods, they also have that voice, that critic voice, you're not enough, you're not enough, you're not enough. It's the human condition or the human dis-ease, that disconnect from, and if I bring the G word into I don't even call it God, I call it my UPS man, my universal power source. He delivers every morning when I pray and meditate. And what I choose to believe is that source, that power, that energy that created the dolphins and the turtles and everything under the sea and above the ground, the beauty, that's who sees me the way I wanted to be seen by my mom. My mom couldn't see me that way because of her own stuff and her own ancestry and her own what she went through. And she really did do the best that she could do. She did better than her mom. I did better than her. I tell my kids all the time when I screw up, you're going to do better than me. That's just the way every generation, we just do better. Why not choose that belief system? Let go of the old BS that somehow if God loved me, then that wouldn't happen to me. God does love you. The source loves you. Source, you are a precious child of the universe in a friendly universe. And what happens to you is for your divine and best good, even the painful parts.
Yes.
If I choose to believe that little nugget this season, then we're really going to have a new year resolution.
Yeah. We are.
Because you get that. I get that. I know many of my listeners get that. But there are people out there who are sitting in this paralyzing fear from ISIS, paralyzing fear from terrorism, paralyzing fear from who's going to lead our country, paralyzing fear of how am I going to make ends meet, paralyzing fear of is this all there is who am I? Those questions. And I would like to suggest that if we just choose to believe that we live in a friendly universe, no matter what is happening out there, and not let the fear win, and look for, in this new year, what is your talent, gift, and ability that is unique to you.
Yes.
If you've always wanted to play the piano, go take a piano lesson. If you've always wanted to act, go to open mic night. Go learn something. If you've always wanted to speak, go to Toastmasters. Everybody should be going to Toastmasters because it's free. If you want to go hiking, go to a meetup. We are in a place on the planet that we've never been before, with the freedom that you talked about that we've never had before. Closing words from you.
I was going to say that one thing that really broke it open for me with my father is my father did the best that he could. And when I realized that, it made me even more forgiving, but it set me in a tone of compassion. And the compassion started not with my dad. It started with me, because I too beat myself up for so many years. And I said, wow, if I can just give myself a break, I can give other people a break too. And there are, Dr. Marissa, I think we're at a point now where we are ready to leap into something that is so wonderful and delicious. And we don't know exactly all the details, and we don't have to know. But it's calling us to be better than we've ever been before. And so at remembering what you just said, there is a point of activation that we've stepped into. No one is coming to do it for us. We are the ones.
Yes.
We are the ones. And if it is to change for the better, it is going to have to start with the individual. And from the individual, we become a collective force that is part of this governing force, this power. And that's how we'll move and shake and have our own being.
Yes, absolutely. That's who we are.
Yes.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you so much, Charles Holt. Singer,
welcome.
speaker, actor, author, everything. Thanks for coming to the studio and
thank you.
Singing two of my favorite songs with me so beautifully. It's time for the balance bar at the end of the show, and there's usually this little ding 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 that comes up if that we didn't go over. But we'll just say that today, where you can actually complain as much as you want, because round 54 of the 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa has ended. Round 55, that means I've been doing this fast for 55 consecutive months, encouraging you not to complain. January 1st, 2016 will be the beginning of round 55, and I expect all of my fasters to please register at 4balance.org so you can win a free pack of my motivational cards, Stacking the Deck for Life Balance with Dr. Marissa. And like Eva Glenn Atkinson from Kentucky, like Daia Jordan from Long Beach, and like Janina Arivata from LA, congratulations to them as well. Please do get my app. It's only 99 cents. Who says you can't get something worthwhile for $1 anymore? On the iTunes Store and on Google Play. Just look for Dr. Marissa Pay or No Complaints, ! Or 21-day fast from complaining. And all proceeds, as usual, from my Balance Marketplace go to my Peace Work Around the Planet so you can partner with me. That's it for today. Next week, it is that time of the month. It is the last week of the month, Sexual Healing with Dr. Marissa, the new Asian Dr. Ruth, determined to make pleasure a G-rated topic. And it is a G-rated episode. We're not doing orgasms next week. We are actually talking about a cousin to orgasms called infertility. It's my first show on infertility. I found Amy Raup, a wonderful, wonderful women's health expert, as well as the author of Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. So please tune in next Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for another scintillating episode of Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Oh, Asian Oprah giveaway. I almost forgot that. I'm giving away an absolutely free app. I have a promo code for you. So the first one, to go to my Facebook and look for the promo for the app and put your name. I will message you the free app promo code. So please do that. I forgot to ask Charles if you had anything that you wanted to give away. It's too late. Is there anything? Yeah? Do you get a copy of a book or a?
Oh, yeah,
I say,
I'd love to
do
give a
that.
copy of
I
my
would
book.
love to
Sure.
have that. Okay, and how to find you? We forgot about that.
Oh,
Charles
you can find
Holt.
me at www.finding-yourvoice.com.
finding-yourvoice.com. And that's Charles Holt. And he'll
Yes.
be giving away a signed copy. If you go to forbalance.org, sign the guest book, Charles Holt, you will get that personalized book. And that's it. Take my advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay, wishing you a very, very happy holiday. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.